You know, in the US, they've always got a gun on the side no matter what. Here, most of the cops, the bobbies, they don't carry guns.
How?
Okay? And the thing
Hello guys, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to watch 10 shocks of visiting England. So I think so this video is made by an American. So of course he might have a lot of shocks visiting in England because it is like they drive on the left and then they drive on the right. But according as far as Indians are concerned, I think so it not be that shocking for us because a lot of things that we have is from the Britishers only.
Yeah,
so
similar.
Yeah, so let's watch this
Video.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in windy England here in London. And today what we have for you are the 10 things that might shock a tourist when they do come here to England. And the first thing that shocks tourists is the English, they really mind their P's and Q's. I mean, they are very polite. You will hear sorry, please, thank you so many times. You'll understand when people say, I hope my little boy grows up to be an English gentleman, because they do have manners here. Now, not everybody has manners, but you will be surprised how much the politeness really comes in, whether you're talking to the police, you're talking to the people that work in tourism, or just normal everyday people. The pleases, the sorries, to bump into people. Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry, excuse me, sir. It does kind of shock people with how polite they are. And with those P's and Q's, so P's the politeness, and Q is the queues here, okay? You'll be shocked with how people really stand in line very well.
Queue.
Nobody queue
As a
jumps or
line.
line jumps or butts in line, because that is totally not a cool thing to do here
Oh,
in England.
that is
So
a
that's
big
the
shock
first thing
for
that
us
shocks
too.
people, how they mind their P's and their Q's, okay? Now the second thing that kind of shocks tourists when they come here is you might actually like the food. I know,
Huh?
it's like I'm
Food.
being
I have heard
sarcastic
English
here,
food is
saying
bland.
You might like English
Yeah.
food, but hear me out. They actually have some pretty good stuff when you are here. And
what
it's
for us?
But you'll be
We are
surprised how many like the foods you do have here you might really like when you sit down and have that English breakfast with eggs and beans and toast and sausages, you know, bangers and stuff like that. It is such a good thing. Or when you go to the pubs and you go have a pub grub there, you know, have the Sunday roast or go have a good beef burger or steak and kidney pie. There is actually a lot of good foods that are here. Fish and chips is an experience you should have. The chocolates, Cadbury, come on, you can't compare American chocolate to British chocolate, English chocolate. It's two different worlds, and that kind of shocks people. They go, you know what? I actually had some food I liked here. I know, it sounds
I
crazy.
never
That's
thought
why the
of saying
second
this.
thing that'll shock you. The third thing that'll shock you about England is how much the weather does actually kind of suck sometimes. No, it's not raining every day. Obviously, I'm here in beautiful sunny
But it is very
London.
cloudy.
Who says that?
Yeah.
Beautiful sunny London.
Gloomy weather.
Yes, they do have sun here, and you do get to go outside when it's not pouring rain. But a lot of times it does rain here. I've been here where it's raining like horizontally and getting soaking wet and all kinds of stuff. So when you do come, just be prepared, because you know what? You might get a great day like this, or you might just get rain for the entire time you're here. So make sure you bring your rain jacket when you come to be prepared for the weather. And if you don't want to bring something, there's people selling umbrellas when it is a rainstorm, so you'll be okay. But just know, usually the weather kind of sucks sometimes. Not all the time though. Now, the fourth thing that shocks tourists when they come here is how much the pub is kind of a focal point of a lot of people's lives here. I mean, if you go to small towns, the pub is like the center where things go on, where you watch the football match and you have your Sunday roast and you go get a pint and talk about work and life and the family.
Everything happens
how
there.
Much a pub really is a quintessential
Nice
part
culture.
of the English
I
experience.
like
It's a very
So
friendly
make sure you
vibe.
do go there and have maybe some of those foods you like, or have an ale that the guy literally is cranking out for you. And it really is a part of everyday life here in England. And that's what's cool. It's like, you know, you think about the US, I'm going to the bar, or I'm going to a bar. But here, I'm going to the pub, and it means something more. And that shocks tourists when they think, oh, it's just a bar. No,
it's
pub
a
is so much
regular
more
thing.
than that. So you can have your Sunday roast with the family, or a pint with your pals and things like that. And the pub crawls and all these things that can go with it. It is really cool, and it shocks people how important pubs really are to English culture.
Wow.
Now, the fifth thing that'll shock you about England, which is kind of weird that I'm doing it here in London, is England is not just London. I know so many people that come to London and they say, oh, I've seen England, or they say, I've seen Europe. Look, England and Europe, in that matter, is way more than London. London is an international city with all kinds of amazing things to do and see, but the country itself has tons of other things out there.
Yes.
The natural
Castles.
beauty and the things to see and the history
Beauty.
is fantastic. So you'll be shocked that there's more to England than London.
Whoa.
So get out there. And that's why it leads into the sixth thing that's going to shock you. When you come to England and you get outside of out of the countryside, This country is actually beautiful. Go through Kent and the gardens of Kent, or go to the Peak District or the Lake District. Go up to Yorkshire and see York. I mean, this country is gorgeous, and you want to go out there and go explore it. And that's what's really cool is, look, it's not just London. And when you get outside of London, the countryside and the towns, the villages really are beautiful things.
Really, that
so
is
exploring
so
that
nice.
countryside leads us into the seventh thing that's going to
most of
shock
it
you
would be
when
jungle,
you do come
concrete
to
jungle.
England, and that is when you rent a car and your first roundabout. I'm not gonna lie to you. The first time I took a roundabout, I'm like, oh my god, I'm on. First off, they drive on the left side of the road.
I told you this will
Make
come.
sure when you cross the street, you look right. Otherwise, you're gonna get smashed. Okay.
it's all
But the
photo.
thing is, when you get that first roundabout, there's like 2 lanes and 2 lanes. You're like, okay, I've got to go right, so I got to go around the roundabout and then come off this way. And you're like, oh my god. And once you do that first roundabout, and you're like, okay, where do I turn in? Where do I turn about? All these things, it will shock you into a heart attack. Okay. And then after you do that, you'll realize when you watch European Vacation, National Lampoon's European Vacation, and you see Chevy Chase going around, the Griswolds going around the circle. Look, kids, Big Ben, Parliament. Look, kids, Big Parliament. For like 6 hours, you start to understand because seriously, renting a car and driving on the other side of the road is shocking in and of itself. But when you get that first roundabout, you're like, oh God, I'm gonna die. Okay. Now, the 8th thing that's going to shock you is when you do travel around, you actually can see Downton Abbey type houses, the stately homes, the stately manor houses, and the country homes and stuff like that. You can go visit those,
Really?
and it's cool because a lot of people, oh, it's just a set piece or it's CGI or something like that. No,
nice.
these are real homes that you can go to. You know, you can go to the Cotswold and see the houses there. You can go around and see these stately homes, take tours of them, go to the
That is so
gardens,
nice.
have lunch there, have a picnic there, see all these things, and it's cool because you get shocking like, wow, you can see that old Downton Abbey kind of things here, that old England. It's not just in the textbooks anymore. It is out there in the country, and that's one of the best things.
Wow.
The National Trust, they have all kinds of homes you can go stay at.
Historic
you can stay at them.
properties.
Literally, well, I guess one thing I'd say with that Downton Abbey kind of thing is you can have some of those true Englishisms here, staying at an old house, an old, stately manor, or what you do with the National Trust, they have all these homes. You can stay in a home that's 1,000 years old and enjoy that there. And that's what's so cool is you can get the history of England in these homes and you get that kind of Downton Abbey feel. I know that this show's been off the air for a while now, but it does have one of those things that shocks tourists. It's that, wow, I really get to enjoy those kind of things. Now, I will say, you get to see the Downton Abbey homes and stuff like that. The Downton Abbey acting and stuff like that, yes, people still have good manners here, but it's not like Downton Abbey anymore. I'll tell you what, just go to the pub on Friday night or Saturday during the football match, you'll understand what I mean.
Oh.
Now, the 9th thing that's going to shock you when you come here to England is the cops don't have guns. You know, in the U.S., they've always got a gun on the side no matter what. Here, most of the cops, the bobbies, they don't carry guns.
How?
Okay? And the thing is, the cops here are super friendly as well. So it's kind of like they're there for security, but it's almost like they're also there for tourist help.
What
And
about
it's pretty
emergency
funny. I
situation?
know there's been many times when I'm like, okay, which way do I need to go to Notting Hill, or I'm in York. Hey, how do I get to the church and stuff like that, or where's the best place to go have tea and crumpets? And the police officers, male, female, they're like, oh, go down there 3 blocks to the left, you're gonna see this thing, and they're super great. But it does shock people when they see the cops, but they don't have any guns. Now there are some
How is
cops with
that
guns, yes,
possible?
but it is kind of a shocking thing if you're coming from the U.S. or South America and stuff like that to be like, hey, it's a cop and he's got a walkie-talkie. Interesting. But it is cool, and they are super
In
friendly.
India
which is
also,
super
all
nice.
the cops have
And
guns.
the 10th thing that shocks tourists when they're here is when they realize that Britain and England are not the same thing.
Oh.
England is a part of Britain, okay?
Yes.
It's called the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So obviously Northern Ireland's separate, Great Britain, that's England, and Scotland, and Wales. And that's the thing is, if you meet a Scotsman or a Welshman and you say, oh, you're English, they're going to be insulted. Because no, England is a different country. But they'll be okay if you say they're British, because there are a lot of differences between going to England and going to Wales and going to Scotland, whether it's the accent or even a different language they may speak there, the food and things like that. I mean, the pub culture pretty much stays in all those places, but there really is a difference. And just remember, you'll be shocked that England is not Britain, okay? It's 2 different ideas.
The most shocking thing was that the police don't carry guns. How is that possible? Because what about an emergency situation and how do they fight it? Like if they have to like fight someone, because of course the opponent or the robber or someone would have a gun and they will easily kill the police also. So like how will they fight it? Of course some supervisors might have it, but till the time they come, they can easily run away. So if GTA would have been situated in UK, then it would have been very easy to fight.
For me, the most shocking thing was the food, because I've never ever heard like food of UK is good, or I thought they have like very plain and very basic food. I would say I've heard about the Indian food. Of course we live in India, so Indian food is best, American food is best. But this was so shocking to hear. And also if we talk about the countryside, so I just love to visit the on Pinterest the photos of countryside of England. It is so beautiful.
Actually, so what do you guys think about this video? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share and
Subscribe.
bye.
Bye.